across the country. We started it here in Louisville. It went statewide, and then we were able to get a pilot program started.
Mm-hmm.
It went across the country, and now we're going to relaunch this time. So the next year, getting ready for the next time, we'll have something concrete that we can work with, because we can't dig up and replace and remove our veterans and our citizens.
That's
period.
True.
That's
true.
Without even discussing, we can't do that.
No.
But I think that is a big thing on that board. I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but for some reason, it seems like it's difficult to get people to put up flags. What is this?
I don't. In my community, 90% of all the veterans in the area that I'm in, a majority of them put up flags on special days, holidays. Some just like I do, fly mine all the time. But you got others that they'll wait till a holiday and then they'll fly the flag. But the flag is such an important part of each and every one of our lives because of the men who died to protect it, to save it. That includes this country.
Right.
And I think that every veteran, no matter who he is, should be buried with a flag. And we have a lot of veterans today, and the relatives will tell you that they wasn't given a flag. I don't know what happened. Did they notify the funeral home or what? But normally the flag is draped across the coffin, or either is folded up by the head and laid in the casket. But the idea is that I've never been a part of a veteran not having a flag of all the veteran funerals I've been to.
Well, I think, part of it is, I think what it really hurts is when you have buildings that are either government buildings or government contractors that are providing services to veterans and their surviving spouses and family, and they don't display a flag. That gets my dandruff up. That gets my dandruff up. For in other words, if we're going to have the kids at school and they're reciting the Pledge of Allegiance and everything, and then they come home, they go to a community center, and that community center doesn't have a flag of any type up, then I think that kind of sends a mixed message.
It does. And I approach some places that has the Vietnam Memorial, like in Missouri, and I said, why? What happened to the American flag? They said, well, it's just a stone sitting there with so many names on it, and a concrete pallet that we thought highlighted the veterans in this neighborhood, and we just put that stone there. But yet, why is the flag? And the last time I was by there, they hadn't put up a flag.
Well, so the state, first of all, there's no flag that's greater than the red, white, and blue. Star Spangled Banner is it. Okay, that's it. That's discussion's over with.
Yes.
But also the state flag and the MIA flag.
But all three of them is very important.
It is very important, and I don't think a lot of people realize that veterans can reflect and will identify with a flag.
That's
They'll
true.
sit on the bench, and sometimes reflection is all you need to recharge you mentally and physically to get you prepared for the day. I think that's what our approach is, and we're going to be pushing that agenda this time. Surviving spouses and dependents, to have seminars where they can come to and get all the information that they need, so they don't have to run all over the place.
All over the country.
It's a real driving thing for me to get a call from the funeral home, and they said so-and-so has passed, and his family said he was in the Navy, but they don't have any papers or access to anything to proceed with his funeral. Well, fortunately, we've been blessed to where we do have access
Mm-hmm.
to the VA, can get into the system and help. But that is, my grandfather in the country, they used to call that hustling backwards. You know, he said, well, why are you hustling backwards?
Yeah.
You know, you need to be on the front end of
Right.
this thing,
Yeah.
okay? So I think we're blessed to be able to have and be a part of a ministry
Mhm.
and an organization.
That's right.
NABETS, the National Association for Black Veterans.
Right, right.
Connections in Washington, D.C. and all over the place. But
Mhm.
we need to bring that information to the churches,
Mhm.
to our community, and make it available to everybody,
Right, right.
not just a few.
That's
You
right.
know, everybody needs to know. We don't have a marketing and advertising budget, so it's a little difficult. But through
Mhm.
the advent of the broadcasting network,
Mhm.
this program, and others, we're going to put it on the high note.
That's-
And at the same time,
That's a good thing.
we can take the legislative stuff with us.
Right.
You know,
Sometimes man mind, I guess, once they get in the public office, they don't say the things they have been saying on the campaign trail. They don't live up to it, and a lot of time we elect these officials, state representative. Once they get into position, then they forget the promises they made to the people.
well, part of that might be, some of that might be our fault too.
Yes, it is.
You know, because if we don't say anything,
Yeah.
then how could they know?
Yes, we have to vote. We have to get out there and vote, and we have to understand what these people are running for and what they're running on. Are they going to live up to their word or not?
Well, I think the veterans, as a group,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we have two groups. We have the veterans, and we have the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need to recruit, educate, and support more veterans to be a part of the process.
Right.
Because
Right.
if you continue to have people that are not veterans in office,
Mhm.
it's hard to get your agenda to
Right.
be their agenda.
Right.
And it is now critical. We need to have representation.
Right.
We need to have access.
Right.
And that is what we're trying to do. And we're trying to do it in a professional manner
Mm-hmm.
so everybody can understand. But like you said, if we don't vote, we don't go to the polls,
Right.
then we're not going to be heard.
No,
you know?
we're not going to be heard.
I have a little thing that I've started, and it's comical, but it feels good to me. I've
Mhm.
kind of committed myself to be the 1,000th voter
Mm-hmm.
at our polling place each year.
Mm.
And I've been able to do it 2 years in a row. So the people that's at the polling place, they know I'm gonna come
You
through the
gonna
door
go
about
to-
4 o'clock or
yeah.
4:30,
Yeah.
and then I'll ask them, I said, how many we got over there? And they'll tell me, and they'll say, well, it's 8 something or 9 something. I don't have anything to do. Y'all don't
Yeah.
mind if I get a chance to sit over here? I'll sit over here and wait.
Yeah.
Y'all let me know when it gets to 9:95,
Well, I'll let
and
you
I'll
know.
get up. I said, I've already got my ballot, and I'm sitting there with it,
Mhm.
waiting
Wait.
to get to be number 1,000. I've done it 2 years in a row, and I'm kind of now
Mhm.
saluting stuff. I said, okay, I'm voting number 1,000 again, y'all.
Yeah. Well, you like me, I'm in the line area. For the last 10 years, I've voted for everything, really, that I could think of. And I'm always questioning those that come to my door, prepared to run for office. I want to give me a slip and say, vote for me, I'm not going to vote for you because you haven't explained anything to me. But if you come in my house and sit down, and we have a seat, and you explain to me what you're running on, and I explain to you some of the problems that we're having, and you cannot tell me personally that you will look into it or see what you can do, then I'm the type that's not going to vote for you.
Well, supposing we do this, since we can communicate,
Mhm.
supposing we pick a day. You picked a day in Radcliffe, down in Fort Knox, and we'll have a round table. At
That sounds
12
good.
noon, we'll
Sounds
announce
good.
it all over the place, and we'll say, look, and at this day,
Mhm.
at 12 noon, from 12 to 2, we're going to be in Radcliffe at this one place. Now, I'll tell you what, I know of a place,
Mhm.
the guys that opened the new barber shop down there last year. That place can hold 30 or 40 people.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
We
about.
go down there on
Yeah.
a Monday
Yeah.
and be down there and have some donuts and coffee or something
Set up. Yeah.
and put it on the table and let people know, because once people realize that you're organizing and you're communicating,
Right.
they respond to you differently.
They do. They really
Okay,
do.
so everywhere that we have access
Mhm.
to a NABES chapter, and we do have one at Fort Knox,
Mhm.
and get down and help Commander Lyons with it and put some people in the right place at the right time,
Right time.
and pass out
Mhm.
information like this so the
Right.
veterans know.
Right.
Just like you said, you never heard of this
No,
organization.
I never
before.
heard of this.
This organization here, Jack Ball, has a person on the committee that represents every military service organization in the state of Kentucky.
JCV.
Jack Ball.
JCVO. JCVO.
Joint Committee. of
Never heard
Military.
of it.
Well, and it has a foundation.
Mhm.
That's how the organization access money
Mhm.
that comes in for the veterans and veterans projects in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
But that is your copy. You can take
Yeah,
that
no,
with
this
you.
goes in my file.
And we gonna remain
Yeah.
connected here.
Mhm.
And this is, with this station and the invitation
Mhm.
for us to be a part, we have 4 parts here.
Okay.
We have the faith, family,
Mhm.
education.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And once you get past those 3,
Mhm.
you covering everything, and it's like medication. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need all of that
Yeah.
in place
Mhm.
for us to do that. Once we
Right.
have those in place, then we
Hey,
can go with everything
hey,
else.
You know, we have a big, some of the beautiful people you want to see in Radcliffe, and the churches are full on Sundays. People from every walk of life, and I thank God for them. And even on posts, which is they're allowed to the chaplain and on posts.
Okay.
Also, churches are full because people that got out of the military always want to go back to the military and listen to the message through the chaplains.
You know, I'm always amazed because I get around and I visit churches. And 5 years ago when I started this, I was amazed at the number of ministers that were not aware of how many veterans were in their congregation.
What?
Well, I know you're looking, but let me tell you, there are congregations that have ministers that were in the pulpit that were veterans, and they didn't know it. They didn't know that their pastor was a veteran. Okay? Because the only time each year that it comes up is on a Veterans Day or something, and they ask them to stand up, and they thank them for their service and what have you. But it's an ongoing thing, and what I try to encourage all of the veterans that are in the ministry to kind of network.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the ministers, I'm not trying to tell you how to run your church, but you got some people there that are disciplined, that's used to being organized, and I think if you create something, or you bring them together and ask them what they think they could do to help the ministers at the church, you might be surprised what you find out.
That's true. That's true. My church has at least 90% of the people there are veterans.
Wow.
And they wear their Purple Hearts pins. And they will wear the Brown Star pins. I'm what you call a veteran that wears quite a few medals.
Okay.
Purple Hearts. I also wore the Brown Star, Combat Infantry badge, the Pathfinder's Jump badge, which is Paratrooper's badge. And so there's so many different awards I got, not only from the Army, but the church itself. And there are many in the church gets awards constantly because the pastor of the church, Pastor Michael Harris, he himself was a veteran. And so he awards the veterans different plaques and certificates of thank you. I think that's where we have a good following of veterans.